All right, thank you. Glad to be here in Hippie Land, and glad you're here too. Here's one wrote with Dan Seymour, who's playing bass here, and John Hadley, and Dan's wife, Jan. She wasn't actually in the room. She sent a piece of paper, which ended up being most of the words in this, which, now here goes. Well, she rolled a cigarette. She read out of the Bible. Said, come on over, honey. We can have our own revival. It's an open invitation. Wicked inclination. Sinful motivation. Not one moment's hesitation. Here we go. Backslider blues. Well, she raised her little finger like she's sipping on some tea. She took a hit of whiskey. She was looking straight at me. It's an open invitation. Wicked motivation. Sinful inclination. Not one moment's hesitation. Here we go. Backslider blues. Yeah, yeah. Well, she knows just what she's doing. She knows just what she did. She knows just what she's got. She doesn't try to keep it hid. She's looking like pure heaven, but she's sent from down below. I know she's no good for me, that's why I love her so. It's an open invitation, wicked motivation, sinful inclination, not one moment's hesitation. Here we go. Backslider blues. Well, she rolled a cigarette. She read out of the Bible. She said, come on over, baby. We can have our own revival. It's an open invitation. Sinful inclination. Wicked motivation. Not one moment's hesitation. Here we go. Backslider blues. Well, here we go. Backslider blues. Backslider blues. All right. Thanks. I wanted to do some songs from this last CD I got out. It's called This Side of the Other, and this is one called Always a Stranger. There's songs that have to do with borders and immigration and walls, and you know the drill. This is kind of the first one I got of these songs started popping into my head, and I think Johnny Cash kind of snuck in on this one. I think, as far as immigration goes, to me, Johnny Cash was kind of the ultimate immigrant. He was always crossing the border in some way or other. always a stranger, always alone, without a place to call a home, always in shadow, always unknown, always the stranger, always alone, always the wanderer, lost in time, so far ahead, so far behind, always in search of some secret sign, always the wanderer, lost in time. A single star shines in the sky, beyond all where, beyond all why. Always the stranger, the refugee, the nameless face, the mystery. Nobody knows, nobody sees, always the stranger, the refugee. All right, thank you. This is called Border Town, and I always thought of Nashville in a weird way as kind of a border town, more of a psychic border. It's one of the places, it's the first place I ever lived in where I could see people go crazy. You know, they were, it can be like a real intense place as far as the music business goes, as far as it was back then. And you could, you know, someone who could tell you what time it was on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, wouldn't know at all. If you were there, you knew what I mean. I get some more guitar and nobody home. Here we go. A storm is tearing up the coast, a mighty hurricane. Whoever rules the elements has surely gone insane. And the forecast is for more than the usual fire and rain. So it's your choice, you can burn or drown, or pack your bags and head for a border town. I can speak the language on both sides of the line, and I can tell you what is yours, and I can show you what is mine. But what good does it do me? I'm only wasting time, 'cause in the end, when the deal goes down, nothing's all you'll get from this border town. at my back. What's that I hear? Time souped up Chevy drawing near. It could be tomorrow, it could be next year. Until then I'll be found in this border town. I'm standing on the corner where you once stood, my friend, until they pushed you to the limit and off the deep end. And if I give them a chance, I'll wind up the same. But I won't let their kind drag me down. Not while I still stand in this border town. The King of Soul arrived today. The drunken crowd went wild, but the sheriff's eye is on him. The complaint has been filed. Or they'll put up with his song and dance, then they'll send him off in style. What a show, what a thorny crown. Held over for 3 days in this border town. At my back, what's that I hear? Time souped up Chevy drawing near. It could be tomorrow, it could be next year. Until then I'll be found in this border town. This border town. This border town. All right. Thank you. That's Dan Seymour playing all that bass. When I was a kid, I was intrigued by magicians, and I like to see things disappear, come back again. Thought the clothes were pretty cool. When I got older, when I got into puberty, there was a whole nother aspect of magic, magicianship that appealed to me, and that was the idea of having a lovely assistant. I don't know how that age was for you, but for me, I could have really used a lovely assistant. So here's a couple of songs about magic. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome one and all to an evening of magic and mystery in this truly magnificent hall. Say hello to my lovely assistant. She'll mesmerize with her look. She taught this master magician the oldest trick in the book. Love is the ultimate mystery. Love is its own crystal ball. Love is the perfect illusion. It's really not magic at all. But enough of this idle chatter. Let us get on with the show. We'll begin this evening's performance with a trick I don't think you know. Keep your eye on my lovely assistant as she rips my heart from my sleeve and turns it into confetti and throws it back at me. Love is the ultimate mystery. Love is its own crystal ball. Love is the perfect illusion. It's really not magic at all. Silence, I must have silence. Not a sound to be heard in the room. Now watch as my lovely assistant steps into the grim box of doom. I'll pierce it with razor-sharp daggers. You'll scream, you'll cry, you'll gasp. You'll cringe as I crank up the chainsaw and methodically cut her in half. Love is the ultimate mystery. Love is its own crystal ball. Love is the perfect illusion. It's really not magic at all. Love is the ultimate mystery. Love is its own crystal ball. Love is the perfect illusion. It's really not magic at all. Thank you. Making her vanish into thin air. That was easy, my friend. But I was never able to learn how to bring her back again. Love is a disappearing act. Mirrors and smoke and dreams. This is the world of illusion. Nothing is what it seems. There is no rabbit in my hat. The dove has flown away. There are no secret spells to cast, no magic words to say. The hunchback's in the tower. He will not ring his bell. And though his eyes are filled with tears, his heart's an empty shell. The last train has left the station. The ship has sailed to sea. This city's under quarantine, and I can never leave. The streets are filled with ghosts. They whisper in the dark how a wise man can read your mind, but a fool can break your heart. And now I stand in this empty hall, hoping you'll appear. But we both know that show's been over for at least 100 years. Finding the truth in magic, even I can do that now. Finding the magic in the truth, only a fool knows how. The great Manzini sits at the bar, and he stares into his glass. You hear him whisper to himself as he conjures up the past. I once believed in miracles. I saw them everywhere. And every bird and flower, and every answered prayer. Making her vanish into thin air. That was easy, my friend. But I was never able to learn how to bring her back again. All right. Thing of Beauty. No, go ahead. Thanks. Well, all right, here's one called Thing of Beauty. You either are or you ain't. When love goes right, It's a thing of beauty, and every piece falls into place. Look around, you'll find she's passing by. It puts that smile right on your face. It's the morning light. It's a summer night. It's a thing of beauty. Love comes around when least expected and steals your heart like a thief in the night. Love doesn't understand. You had other plans. Well, now those plans will never work out right. It's anybody's guess. It's a beautiful mess. It's a thing of beauty. Yeah. It's something no one can take from you. It's something wonderful and rare. Look around, you'll find it's one of a kind. Not another like it anywhere. It's a song you sing. It's the bell you ring. It's a thing of beauty. Well, it's a song you sing. It's the bell you ring. It's a thing of beauty. It's a thing, it's a thing, it's a thing, yeah. It's a thing, it's a thing, it's a thing of beauty. Yeah. Zip and boot that, yeah. One more time, oh yeah. All right. Here's one wrote with a friend of mine, Will Owen, and it's called She Does It All With Her Eyes. That's close enough. There's no way to explain how she does it or why, and I don't understand. I don't even try. She can lift me so high when I fall in so low. She can show me the way I must go. She does it all with her eyes. She does it all with her eyes. There is no magic, no sleight of hand, no disguise. She does it all with her eyes. The shadows grow long in the afternoon light. The sun takes the day and the moon brings the night. And the stars keep their watch until the closing of day. Then they say their goodbyes, then they are gone. She does it all with her eyes. She does it all with her eyes. There is no magic, no sleight of hand, no disguise. She does it all with her eyes. There's no way to explain how she does it or why. I don't understand. I don't even try. She does it all with her eyes. She does it all with her eyes. There is no magic, no sleight of hand, no disguise. She does it all with her eyes. She does it all with her eyes. All right. Here's a King Lear song. This is Red King Lear, and I tried to get the whole thing in a song. And you can't. So don't try that. You could put somebody's eye out. Excuse me, my friend, but this is not where I want to be. Is this the end to be begging for some sympathy. I've been out in the storm. I'm just looking to get warm. That's how it feels, chained and bound to the wheel. Maybe you've heard, but they want you to call me king. It's only a word with a hollow ring. It was yesterday I gave it all away. Well, there's no fair deal, chained and bound to the wheel. Chained and bound, going up and coming down. Are you a dream? Are you real? If you can free me from this wheel, do it now. Do it now. Well, pardon me, let me introduce these friends of mine. Well, let me see, here's a holy fool with a mournful line. Here's a man with no eyes, and here's another in disguise. Only the mask is real, chained and bound to the wheel. Here's a man with no eyes, and here's another in disguise. Only the mask is real, chained and bound to the wheel. I'm chained and bound to the wheel. Oh, I'm chained and bound to the wheel. I'm chained and bound to the wheel. All right, thank you. Are we good on time? All right, we're good. Here's one called Two-Bit Hood. Storms are rumbling in the west, heading our way, you can bet. Blow us both to kingdom come. Let's go out and have some fun. What if we get blown away? No one'd have that much to say. We're the kind nobody sees. This world's not meant for you and me. I've always done nobody good. I've always been a two-bit hood. You'll never fit into their world. To them you're just a low-rent girl. Well, you choose me and I choose you. That's the best that we can do. Let's go into town tonight and have the time of our life. Well, we live our lives outside the law, steal a little, sometimes more. If it gets hot, we don't hang round, pack our bags and leave the town. You and me and no regrets, just how lucky can we get? Let's go into town tonight and have the time of our life. I've never done no one no good, always been a two-bit hood. You'll never fit into their world. To them you're just a low-rent girl. Storms are rumbling in the west, heading our way, you can bet. Blow us both to kingdom come. Let's go out and have some fun. All right. I had to do one here. This is called Barrymore Remembers. It's supposed to be John Barrymore in a bar talking to the bartender. Have I ever told you I was once quite the ladies' man? My suits were Italian, my color vermilion, my words soft as satin, the language of love. My life was the movies, and I was the leading man, the dashing romantic, with a touch of the tragic. My profile was perfect, and the language was love. Yes, sir, Mr. Barrymore, you must have been something back then. They must have been wonderful years, and they won't come again. Yes, sir, Mr. Barrymore, can I pour you another? The women were lovely in the flickering Hollywood light. Of course there was Garbo and Dietrich and Harlow. The look was come hither, and the language was love. And my God, the parties, the nights were as bright as the days. The air smelled like honey, the stars shone like money. In the roar of the 20s, the language was love. Yes, sir, Mr. Barrymore, you must have been something back then. They must have been wonderful years, and they won't come again. Yes, sir, Mr. Barrymore. One more on the rocks. This was a gay town, as wild, as free as the night. We loved with a passion. We were storybook heroes, and the language of love. What was I saying? And where has everyone gone? Quickly, bartender, pour me another. Better make it a double. One more for the road. Yes, sir, Mr. Barrymore. Are you sure you can make it all right? Yes, the bar's closing down. Better call it a night. Yes, sir, Mr. Barrymore. Let me call you a cab. All right. Thank you. We're going to do, we got one more here. Ladies and gentlemen, Hippie Jack. Okay.
Cue me, did she? You haven't been sick, have you?
No,
Okay.
depends what you're
You can't catch that kind of sick. Either you got it or you don't.
sick as a wide concept.
It is. Sick as a brick. Would that be right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to have a request. Mary said it was okay if I made a request.
Yeah.
Is that not good? I won't do it if you don't, if it's bad.
Hit it.
Women across the river.
Okay.
Am I in trouble?
No.
He did this here a long time ago, and the river's right there. And it just seemed to make sense.
Yeah.
Thanks, David. David only.
Oh, the women cross the river, carry water from the well at break of day. And they talk to one another. God only knows what they might say. You might get an education after years of dedication. You might finally get a glimpse of what is right and what is wrong. But the women crossed the river, well, they knew that all along. Oh, the women cross the river, work with tools that are ancient and handmade. And they plow their fields in perfect rows, and then they rest beneath the shade. Now we have learned to build out of concrete, out of steel, and our buildings last 1,000 years, but then even they are bound to fall. But the women cross the river, never learned to build a wall. All the women cross the river are as gentle as the dew upon the ground. How I love to hear them laughing in the rain when it makes that perfect sound. Now a soldier with a gun and a battle to be won might kill you with a bullet, and you'd never even know the reason why. But the women cross the river, they can kill you with their eyes. Oh, the women cross the river, they can kill you with their eyes. All right, thank you all. Dan Seymour on the bass. We enjoyed playing for you. Thank you so much.
com. Limited edition music. You can only hear these cuts with us. That was David Olney. He was finishing one of my favorite David Olney songs. We're sitting right here, very near the river. But all the women aren't across the river. They're over here on our side.
Well, let him look at these because he may go, oh no. All right.
Plug his guitar into the same channel that gives it.
And then, wait, he's gonna plug his what guitar?
That's already in the ballpark. No. No. Just two.
Fluctuate, check. That's fine, I'm right there. I'm right where I want to be. Check 1, 2, check. Hear the house? Oh, you want me to move this? Move that a little bit, we all right? Okay, check, check, check. House is loud from here, I can do that.
Hey, Mark, I just thought of a joke. Who wrote the Harvard math scholar who became a roadie? He used to check the mics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't got much. Let's take it up a little bit. Keep going up. A little more, a little more. Check, check, check. A little more, it's still pretty quiet. I'm afraid I'm going to get going and I won't be able to hear that. Oh yeah, no, I'm all about that, all about that. Yeah. Yeah. No, I just got to be able to play in tune on this puppet. That's my main concern there is will I be just totally missing notes on that thing. It can happen. It can happen on that little thing. Well, here.
Which is pretty typical of me.
No, we're good. I got a volume control on this one, which I'll take down, but the other one got nothing. Yeah. Yes. Okay. No problem. I don't have anything on the resonator though. So, all you. You know. Check, check, check. Lovely, lovely. I don't know.
I'm coming. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. That's great. Thank you.
I won this at a raffle.
Really?
Yeah.
You like it?
I haven't hit it yet.
Where was there a raffle?
Down at Fort
Nashville, of course.
Drum Closet. I went to Matt.
Drop your card in, thing?
Well, yeah. Well, no, just they gave out tickets. And Dave Matthews was doing the drum track.
Oh, okay.
And it was there at my house. Yeah, you used to have the play. I'm down with him and if he hasn't done it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I know.
Staying at the guy's
Yeah, and
house.
I said to the guy, I said, hey, you look, this really looks kind of weird. It might be better if we put my ticket, in the bin. He said, no, you want Times Square. And I went, okay, shit. Yes, yes. No, I can't shut up.
I was at a festival, the Philadelphia Folk Festival, 20,000 people. They sell raffle tickets for a donated Martin guitar, and this was like the anniversary one with all the inlay, and it was just super nice. And a guy in the raffle booth, a kid, his mom worked there, I was a volunteer as well. He won. Oh my God!
Yeah,
It was going to be a riot. Like as soon as he won, everybody in the booth was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, what do we do?
Don't say anything.
Don't tell him.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. Well,
And the reason is because you get the last ticket, throw it on top, and that's the one they grab. Oh, okay. These ones that we've never played, you know this one, right? I think we played it at these. No, it's like a punch two beat. I'll get it started. It's a coaster song, so that gives you a feel. And then Nobody's Business, I'm just gonna do that as like a straight, like a halftime two beat thing. So I'll get them both started, and you guys can jump on it. Cool. I would be surprised if we got that. We'll probably get that far. Well, but that just means he'll come out after this. Tell us to play one more.
yeah, yeah, they really do. I mean, when you can compare them, I have some like Coles 4038s that I would use like in the studio, but I won't bring them for this. It's not down like.
Now I gotta say, I have a Cole. I fell in love with that price. I got a couple of M160s, the old buyer, like little ball mice, tiny ones. They got the brightness of the Coles. They sound like that. And they go all the way down. They still crisp on top. They're kind of condenser in there.
What do you like to use them on?
What do you need me, guitars?
Yeah, it probably gives it a nice smooth but present.
No, I can hear it good. Audio Technica pencil mic, $75 a piece.
Double dipping, huh?
I put them side by side with the Neumann 800. Yes.
Double
Yeah, the KM 184s.
Yeah, they were 90%.
We were trying to put three pins at a time.
What did you end up finding? What is it's the thing that pops through the mix that you don't notice on a one-to-one, and then when you try one-to-one in a mix, you're like, oh, that's like a 414. All the time I see like people going, oh yeah, compared to did a white shootout, it's better than 414. I'm like, yeah, you try. There's a reason that microphone is in every studio in the world.
Keeping them all on track, Mike. Keeping them all on track.
We've been doing shows back and forth, which is very good for how we want to handle
I know,
this.
it's happening. It's happening.
There's no way we could probably time it and this is how we could start.
Yeah.
Never will. pulls out, put in these big heavy beams up top.
Yeah, I saw your pictures in video
Did you?
construction. Yeah,
It was a hoot.
looked like a job, man. But
My sons came and helped, and my
Yeah.
son-in-laws came and helped.
yeah, well, it's a big job, man. Good job.
And now we can do one-night shows if we want to have a special show in the middle of summer.
Most definitely.
They can come at 5 and pitch their tent, and I can sell them beer, and we can just collect food. And
Yeah, why not?
it's too far for me to drive to Nashville for music now, and there's no place to stay.
I know. Well, if you get over there and you don't have a place to call,
I always go home. I've come to that stage in my life where I always go home.
I understand.
I know.
Totally.
If I'm 100 miles from home, I'm going home. I don't care what time it is.
He's out on the road. He's doing his own kind of thing. I'm hardly ever out of town. I just ran into him, I don't know, just a couple of months ago. He's doing good, happy. Oh, yeah. No, we really haven't been doing that song. A bunch of songs. There was Sergio.
We did. Blue Mother Tupelo is here. We could drink all of that. Yeah, if they were here. Micah.
He's playing with a lot with Amelia's wife. I'm betting Pat went to his dad's.
Oh, okay.
That's my guess. He got all set up and he left.
He did shut.
That's my guess. Just a guess. Yeah. I could be wrong. Or the beer tank. We're waiting on our drummer. We don't know where he went. There he is. There he is. He went to get that hat.
Well, no, I went to wash my hands, and it's funny, this girl was passing by, and she said, "You need to go potty, buddy?" And I said, "No, I just like to wash my hands." She goes, "Talking to my son." It's her with the hat on. She said, "No, I'm talking to my son, he's right behind you." I said, "Oh."
That's hilarious. No, thanks. I'm good.
There's a pair of sandals in one of the trash cans. And I said to her, "Oh, I didn't know Elton John was here. Sandals in the bin."
That's bad.
That's over the top.
Are we ready for him
Well, it was written to Mother
to
Teresa.
announce us?
Is that what we're waiting for?
No, we were waiting for Pat, but now, yeah, I said, are we ready for him to announce?
Too sexy to get these things out.
Let
of
Pat
one
tell
look
us.
at.
We'll rely on Pat for that.
Pat, are you ready?
Don't hurry, Pat.
Right.
We're stalling till they let the show out over there. It's almost done. I see people walking away. Yeah, I think it is over. It ain't over. Fuck, Jay Clark ain't done. So it was 1970, and I was sitting in an airport in Atlanta when the FBI guys took me behind the one-way glass and said they had Cuban prisoners on the plane, and they needed to look at all my stuff. And I had a camp trunk in there that had been full of dirty clothes for 2.5 weeks. And I said, "You can look at my stuff." I wouldn't open that trunk. I'm just saying. It was a mistake. I'd fallen in with the SDS at MIT. Anytime there's like 3 letters in the deal, look out. It's not a good sign. I remember we were walking from, must have been Boston Commons. They had a big old rally, Jefferson Airplane, Abbie Hoffman. Everybody was there. And then the little nucleus of insane people decided to walk to Cambridge and get in the fight with a bunch of cops in Cambridge. I went along to see what would happen. Sure enough, there's about maybe 100 or so crazed political hippies, and I looked up, and that Harvard Square is a pentangle, so there's 5 roads leading into Harvard Square. There was a formation of riot police blocking every exit. I was 19 years old. I already got my damn high draft number. Why was I there? And somebody threw a brick out of the 3rd floor, I think, of the bookstore, and knocked one of those riot police out of formation, and somebody blew a whistle, and it was on. And they kicked our ass. But we put more cops in the hospital that night than in any other demonstration that ever occurred in the Boston area. Doesn't mean that they didn't overcome us. So after I got good and clubbed one time, it was my first real clubbing, I decided I didn't like it. And I ran over into this building, and the door was open, and I went inside, and it was a library. A fucking library. All the dorms in Harvard have their own libraries. And there was one guy in there studying, and I'm like reeking of tear gas and bruised and battered and limping and scared. And I said, "You're not going to make me leave, are you?" And he said, "Not if you're quiet." And I waited it out there. And a couple weeks after that, they arrested me for some stupid thing, paraphernalia or something. And that's how I ended up back in Virginia. And then I got on a plane at Patrick Henry Airport, and I ended up in Atlanta. And that's where I met the guys that needed to open my camp trunk. And after that, this was before computers, man, you know? This was like, I was on a list. Someone had to write it down. I swear on that plane flight, I was thinking, I need to live way out in the country. This ain't working for me. I went back to Florida for a while, and I met Mississippi, and I squirreled her away from her boyfriend. And we moved here in 72, not here. We moved here in 76. We moved to Tennessee in 72, so it's a testament to good decisions. Happy to be here. Does any of that make sense? Yeah. That makes sense? It's good. All right, cool. It's good. It's a true story. They're all true stories. Pat's not even here.
Everybody left again. David and Pat just left.
It's all right. Yeah, it's how they do you. Yeah,
We're all right.
I don't care. Are we ready to go? Pat's here. David's not coming out till later, right?
It's coming out now.
David Seymour.
Daniel Seymour.
He'll come out when the music commences. Yeah.
That's all right, man.
I'll get it. Some of them are harder than that. You know? Yeah. Okay, they're all back. I'm going to sit out front for this one. Daniel Seymour, Mark Robinson, and I think David Olney's here. Give it up. Give it up. Yeah, come on.
You got signal? Yeah.
Got a cardboard suitcase, got a silver tone guitar. Got a cardboard suitcase, got a silver tone guitar. I've been walking all day, won't you give me a ride in your car? Got a brand new hat, got a $100 bill. Brand new hat, got a $100 bill. If you won't love me, I know your sister will. I said, take me on down the road a ways, honey. Take me on down the road. I've been walking all day. I still got a long way to go. Got the wind in your hair, got the radio turned down low. Got the wind in your hair, got the radio turned down low. Oh, you're driving real fast like you got somewhere to go. We can stop up ahead, there's a juke joint on the right. Baby, stop up ahead, there's a juke joint on the right. There's a band with a saxophone wailing most every night. I said, take me on down the road a ways, honey. Take me on down the road. I've been walking all day, I still got a long way to go. I've been walking all day, I still got a long way to go. Got a long way to go. Got a long way to go. I've been walking all day. Got a long way to go. Been walking all day. Got a long way to go. I've been walking all day. Got a long way to go.
Oh, my social skills are gone.
All right, well, as he's changing his guitar, we'll say thank you to Hippie for having us, and thanks to everybody for hanging around. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for starting that applause with that single applause.
Beautiful day out here, guys. Beautiful day. We like the new tent. I'll call it the new tent. You guys like it? It's nice.
It's good shade.
Thank you, Hippie.
Hey, John. That was me. Okay, ready when you are. Barefoot girl? Yeah. She my barefoot gal.
She don't wear no shoes.
She my barefoot gal.
She don't wear no shoes.
She don't wear shoes. Crazy about my barefoot gal. She my barefoot gal.
She don't wear no shoes.
She my barefoot gal.
She don't wear no shoes.
Don't wear shoes. I'm crazy about my barefoot gal. Well, she was born in the country. Don't like wearing shoes. But sure loves dancing to them country blues. Swinging and jiving to the band's backbeat. Just stomping on the floor with them big bare feet. She my barefoot gal.
She don't wear no shoes.